good old SK that is buying the ring for the babe for Raven and said he wants to go to find a ring. Hey God, that will blind the enemies. So that means will he blind himself? Because did he think about himself? Hello, everybody. We're back again.
Hi.
Hello. Back again. Hi. Welcome back again to Reality Check, where tea is served and checks are dispersed. My name is Diana.
And I'm Mare. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. And hopefully, if you have been watching, this is actually, we are discussing Love is Blind After the Altar. This is part 2 to Love is Blind After the Altar. And Marilyn and I just watched our raw and watched it. And we have our raw and uncut, unfiltered thoughts. We finally just watched all 3 parts. And as you can tell, maybe our moods seem a little bit somber. because quite frankly, that was, I don't know about you, for me, I think what we just watched was representative of the season for Love is Blind season 3. So a little bit expecting that it was not going to be good, and rightfully so, it is not good. So a lot of things well, not a lot of things actually to unpack, because this cast is not that great. But one of the things that I thought was funny, I just want to start off with a funny moment. SK, we have good old SK that is buying the ring for the babe for Raven and said he wants to go to find a ring. Hey God, that will blind the enemies. So that means will he blind himself? Because did he think about himself? So you're saying that as you are actively cheating.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, I guess that wasn't so much of a positive, but I actually really like that statement, blind the enemy. So I thought, you know what? To whoever I marry, listen, get me a ring that will blind my enemies.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Okay.
Same thing for Marilyn. I wish for you to have a ring that will blind your enemies.
I don't have enemies. I won't have enemies. Why do I need a ring to blind my enemies?
Oh my goodness gracious. All right, but let's start. Let's chat about, I think something that will be very quick was Alexa and Brennan. Let me just make sure that it's
Alexa
not on.
and Brennan.
They were, I don't have much to say other than I really did not like her dress to the birthday party. And I'm not saying that because she is of a thicker build. I think that even if it were on a woman of a smaller build, I would not have liked the dress. I didn't like it. I think there are other ways for her to be sexy. And that was just not, that dress missed the mark. And that's it. I have nothing else for them to.
Yeah, again, they're the most stable couple on the show.
Stable?
Yeah. In terms of relationships, yes, they are. They are
on the show.
Stable on the show.
Okay, good. On the show. Sorry.
I don't know what's going on outside of the show, but on the show, they are the ones who are like the trophy, as Zinab puts it. They're the trophy couple of the show. So, yep, she had her birthday. Happy 28th birthday to her, and she wanted it sexy and classy, and yeah, the dress is. I think the dress makes sense for who she is.
Okay.
Yeah, it does.
Sorry. Okay.
It makes sense for who she is, what she likes, and what she's about, you know?
Sure. All right. Awesome. So the next couple, I promise you, I am not silencing you in any way. Sure, with them too. I have nothing for them. Wish them the best. I pray that they stay married forever. Moving on to, who should we cover next? I still think Cole and Matt. Not Cole and Matt. What's her name again? Colleen.
Colleen and Matt.
Colleen. Mm-hmm. I need her to blink 5 times really fast. But here's the thing. we did not get the Matt that we saw during the season.
Yeah.
Which makes me to believe, I don't know if they are intentionally trying to not portray him as a loose cannon. You know what I mean? Because we don't know the damage that it had done after the season had ended, right? So they came to this filming with an understanding that we cannot portray him as a loose cannon. She cannot look scared because that will indicate somehow, some way that he is crazy. Because I was getting a lot more smiles from him and a lot more happy from him during these 3 episodes than I did all last season, which was, again, still not getting the real him. I feel like we got the real him last season during the season than we did here. But I think that she does not want to be in this relationship. And she's forcing herself to be in it. For what reason? She hasn't come to an understanding of her discomfort.
Or could she just be coming off as just a very uncomfortable looking person? I don't know. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was interesting that his parents. It's good that both parents for both couples are communicating. But his parents are like, he literally goes to every single one of your ballet shows. He's showing his commitment towards you. You guys are a great couple together and all that stuff or whatever and whatnot. Yeah, they have their troubles and their struggles. But yeah, the smiles that I was seeing from him, and it shows that, like, at least on his part, what he is showing to us is that he's intentional and wanting to make things work with Colleen, right? For her, she's showing discomfort. So I'm like, maybe she's just a naturally nervous person and she's still in this relationship and she wants to be in it, but she's presenting as naturally nervous, or maybe she doesn't want to lose him. And the fact that they said that his go-to thing is to shut down, not to necessarily like blow up, but it's to shut down and run away. His family said that he normally just shuts down when problems come and arise. But the fact that he has stayed, when Colleen was like, I'm just glad that he stayed, in this and with it. And then that's when they started having that conversation about how he responds to troubles and issues. So,
well, I
don't know what Colleen is nervous about.
But that's the thing, is we don't know if they are intentionally bringing forth this to make it seem as if, no, he is not dangerous. Because the vibe that we got from him last season was this person could potentially be dangerous.
Yeah.
Right? So they want to intentionally show a different side of him. Granted, sure, whatever. I just think it's very odd too that both of them at this point now, after watching 3 parts, have said that, well, we both said yes, so there must be a reason why we should be together. So they're both operating on the notion that because they both agreed to marry each other and continue on, that's the reason why. And they are discovering the reason why they said yes, and that's what continues them on, which I think is weird. I think that's very weird, and I think there's something to be said about that. What is to be said, I don't know, because they're not giving us anything. There was actually truly no insight into their relationship. We got more insight into the Brennan and the wife. We got more insight into we saw their affection. Granted, this couple may not be affectionate, but there was nothing that gave us the into these are who these 2 people are. We didn't get that from them. Well, and I guess we're not going to. We'll know whether or not we get a statement from them about whether they're staying together or not. So yeah, that's that with them. Okay. Who else? Cole and Zainab.
Let's talk about Nancy and Bartiste first.
Okay, let's start there.
Cole and Zainab are along.
Yeah. Let's start there.
Raven and SK, whichever one.
Okay, but can I say about SK? Didn't I predict it?
That way.
I told you that once Netflix airs the whole scandal that happened, we're not going to see SK. Did we see SK after the engagement?
No.
We saw Raven, though. Of course, Raven's going to give her side that she was cheated on and blah, 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 whatever, whatever. But we don't see anything from SK. We don't see anything from him. We don't see his remorse, his denial, his admission, we don't see anything from him outside after the proposal. So I guess SK is now leaving.
Does he owe the audience?
He does.
That?
He does. He does.
Okay, good.
Because he signed a contract with Netflix, which is signing a contract with the audience. That's one. Two, you came onto this contract and you proposed twice.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are if you are lying about that proposal and lying about your intentions, you owe us.
Mm-hmm.
You owe us because our subscription to Netflix pays your salary.
Right. Okay.
So you owe us that explanation.
Okay.
Raven, whether or not she knew, remember, because my theory was she knows all this her nonsense. She knows whether or not she knows. She gave us something. You know what I mean?
She fulfilled her end of the bargain.
She fulfilled her end, whether those tears were real or not.
Yeah.
At this point, it's neither here nor there. She fulfilled her end. SK, you ran. So now I want to block you on Instagram. I want to go to block.
How can you block him when he's public?
Exactly. Just because I'm not you.
Oh my gosh.
But SK did not fulfill his end of the bargain, which allows us to believe in, create our own assumptions about anything about SK, create our own conclusions about SK, and also allows us to believe that he is a coward.
And demonize him too as well.
And demonize him. He did not give us any reason, any understanding to him. And he gave us nothing. So we can very well say those women that came out were right, as opposed to saying, no, they're lying or anything. He gave us nothing.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take everything that people say with like a grain of salt, you know.
Of course.
So even those women that came out, they haven't sat on the couch to talk to the audience and say like, okay, this is X, Y, and Z. But yeah, SK, I wish he would have, showed up and said that, hey, this is what was going on behind the scenes. Like I said before, I did believe, and I probably still do believe, that they have a business arrangement. That because I just really didn't think that Raven liked SK like that. And I also don't think that SK was being honest about his wants and needs, being with Raven. So they have a business arrangement. And it's okay. And I don't know. I don't know. It's okay if that's what they decided on. Like, on certain shows, like Married at First Sight, for example, like allegedly, but when you sign the contract, you do all the episodes so you get your money. Right. So, they needed to do this and, to make sure they got their money. So I don't know. Yeah. Well, I wish them the best. I mean, when Raven was crying, I was like, oh, I feel bad for her.
Yeah, it seemed real in that moment. Yeah. See, honestly, watching that scene, to me, I felt bad for her. Like, as woman to woman, I felt bad. Like, I don't wish that
on anyone
that pain on anybody, right? And it did feel real. So I'm now questioning myself because, again, I was a person that initially was like, or not initially, but you were initially like, this is something's not right. When everything came out, I then switched to, she knew, I don't believe none of them. This is all a scam. Now I'm questioning everything. Like, did she know? Is she really hurt? Raven is also a person that we cannot, it's very hard for me to read Raven and get an understanding of her intentions. She's not, if she's hurt, you won't truly know.
No, yeah.
Because she has the same face as to whether, like, when she's happy, she has the same face. When she's sad, she has the same. So it's hard for me to really read Raven. She's the type of person that I have to meet in person to be able to discern her, like, her aura, her spirit, her, you know what I mean? That type of thing. So I guess that's it on Raven and SK. To be
That
honest
is
with you,
it
I'm
for
kind of over them.
me.
Yeah, that's it for
That's
for
three
them.
episodes down. Two more to
All
go.
right. One thing. Sorry, I actually want to mention this. Did you notice that Matt was red the
When he was
entire?
drinking?
No, not even just when he was drinking. Like basically the entire time. Like anytime Colleen would speak, it's almost as if he was afraid for what was going to come out of Colleen's mouth. That
I
would
mean,
potentially indicate like him being like crazy. I don't
the
know.
controlling aspect of him. I noticed that. And the reason that we didn't see much about Colleen and Matt is because they gave us what they wanted to give us.
Exactly.
That's it. So there's something that's happening there. So I like my notes for them were like 2 points for both episodes after. So I was like, yeah, they are giving us
Putting on for
what
the
they want.
camera. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah. And it seems like Colleen is trying to convince us that she's happy. That's what I felt. Anyways, whatever. Cool. They're
I don't
done.
know why she's trying to convince herself, child. Okay.
Hmm.
So
Because that was a word.
jeez.
All right, cool. So cool, we're done with them. Cole and Zenab or Nancy and Bartise? Who's next?
Who's the easiest to talk about between these two?
None of them. They're both complex.
Yeah. Let's
They're
talk
both.
about Cole and Zenab because I think that ended nicely.
You do?
I'm so proud of Cole. I'm proud of him. And then also the editing.
I'm not proud of him.
I'm proud of him for stepping up to the plate and having that conversation.
I'm proud of him because of that. Yeah. But I'm actually not proud because I think that that's an expectation. Like, y'all need to have a conversation. Like, that has to happen. It's not like you guys can go on ignoring each other. But I'm not proud. I'm a little disappointed because I was hoping Cole has not, and I wrote this down. I wrote down specifically, Cole still blames himself. And he has not come to the understanding that in this situation, you did not do anything wrong. And any sort of blame that he is accepting, especially in front of Zainab, is empowering her to believe that she was all right in this situation. And you can see, even in the way that she is speaking to him, it's still very condescending. It's almost as if she's still talking down to him and like trying to teach him some sort of a lesson. Which I expected her to double and triple down on whatever she had done or whatever. But he's now saying things like, there was something he said. He didn't say fat shame, but I didn't mean to hurt you. You know what I mean? Like, he's accepting that he was the source of her pain and the source of her hurt. And that made me upset. I did not want to see that from him because I don't think that he was deserving of that, because this is not a situation where you did something to potentially hurt her. This is a situation where she does not know how to understand a real attack from a non-attack, and she blew something completely out of proportion. Completely blew out of proportion. And all of that is fed by her trauma, her insecurity, her lack of understanding of her space, her so many different things are contributing to that. And she needs her money back for the therapy that she is going to. Because it's not, if this is representative of I am healed, she's not healed, and it's not working.
Okay.
And Cole is also very nervous because he is very clearly also drunk. Sir, you should not be having this conversation because you are inebriated. When he went up to her, I'm like, no, please, Cole, you are not. You are not in a place to have this level of a conversation because she's about to chew you up. She's about to eat you up, and you're just going to fold.
but he didn't fold, right?
He did. He blamed himself.
I think sometimes I think what he's doing is just making peace right now. Mm-hmm. Because like he said prior, you can't win with a person like that. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. So there's the reason he's having the dissonance that he's having in regards to what she said at the altar, how good he was, or mm-hmm. I loved you, but you were 1,000% terrible to me. He doesn't understand it, right? And so for him, there's no further need to probe into trying to understand that. What he's just going to say is, I apologize. Yeah. I'm sorry. And like he said, he's like, I don't have it in me to like stay like, I don't want any issues with you.
Yeah.
He doesn't want it. So it's just at the point of just accepting this.
And did you notice what she was trying to continuously do? She's actively still trying to make him the problem. Right. Like, even when he said, I don't want any issues with you. Like, he's saying, please, no more accusations. There's nothing else for like, mm-hmm. I want you to understand. What he's saying to her is, I want you to understand and see my intentions. Like, mm-hmm. I'm trying to make peace. I don't want problems. And mm-hmm. she is still hurling like, oh, you told me I had an attitude. Oh, you told me that, like, okay, we get it. You are a brown girl and you are trying to now paint him she knew what she was doing. And she's like, I don't want any issues with you either. Like, I don't have an attitude either. You know what I mean? She's doing these things and saying all of these things to paint him in a way that she is trying to trigger not make herself. Huh?
It's trigger language.
Yeah, she's
like,
yes,
and she's language is appropriate to that.
She's taking advantage of real situations where real brown and black women are oppressed and tone policed, right? And she's taking advantage of that and trying to use that in this case with this white man because she knows that she will be able to get away with that. But Zanab, here, a black woman here, I am here telling you that you are wrong, sis. And typically, you are wrong for this. You are wrong, and I don't stand by you for this. I don't stand by you.
She really tried it, and
she did.
She really tried it. Like when I was writing my notes, I'm looking and I literally wrote a heart, and I like, no hate in Cole. There's no hate in him. He harbors none. Right?
There's no hate, but he is stupid for trying to have that conversation drunk.
I think I mean at the end of the day, like they have to have the conversation. It's the last episode. So, but when she did say those little things like, oh, like you didn't like me enough for me to stay. I thought it was interesting that Cole was saying like we were making love, you know, throughout all these things. We were having these conversations about X, Y, and Z. Yes, I thought you were going to say no, but I thought we were going to continue to date. And so she is sending mixed messages to this person who doesn't really understand. That's why he's just not getting what is happening. But it's just
I think I disagree.
He's not getting what's happening in terms of the fact that.
No. I agree with you with what Cole is receiving. Cole is actually having a conversation with Zanab. Zanab is having a conversation with us, the audience.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Trying to make her case even stronger.
Yeah.
But you know, those things I have to say is like Zanab, it's really it's nothing to you. If somebody says that you have a bad attitude, it's a constructive critique, right? If you are exhibiting in a moment that you have a bad attitude, that's something anyone can say to you, your friends, your family, whatever. And then you're getting a little loud. Once you say you're getting a little loud, that he said that you're getting a little loud, I was like, give us more, you got to give us context, right? You can't like say these very like I guess audacious statements without giving us context into what took place and why he said that you're getting a little loud or that you are exhibiting a bad attitude. So she tried to play it and it's not working. And especially because Cole's intentions, I think he's trying to say like, my intentions were not to harm you. His intentions were coming from a different place. And so
And let me
It's a lot.
also say this, just in case, I don't, even if there's just one person, just in case there is anyone that is listening, this does not take away from the fact that tone policing of.
You're gonna say people of color, or you're
No, I
gonna
was
say
not gonna say, girl, you should know me
black
better than that.
people, or
Black people, I was gonna say black and brown people does absolutely exist. In this particular instance, it does not.
No, she
It is.
tried.
I do not agree. I do not agree with the what Zainab is trying to do, and I think they have dangerous implications. I'm done with her.
All
Let's
right,
move
we're
on to
done.
Nancy and Bartiste.
Thank God.
Oh, and I also. Ooh. Maybe
Oh
this is a
gosh.
question. No. Because no, it's okay. Because we do have to end this soon. I don't want this to go too long. But this is a question that we can leave the audience with, and I would like for you guys to put this in the comment section of whatever platform you're watching this on, our Instagram, DM us. The conversation that Cole had with Brennan. What do you think about association beef with your spouse? I would love to know what people think. I have my own opinion. I'm sure, Marilyn, you have your own opinion. We can share that maybe on another episode, but I would love to know what other people think about the association beef that Brennan displayed, clearly in partnership and in support of his spouse, who is in support of Zainab, and now him and Cole's relationship is the way that it is. That's why I said that was the initial, like, Cole is really accepting blame in this conversation. Like, what is that about? So I would love to know what people think about that. Nancy and Bartiste.
Oh, lovely. I'm proud of Nancy for finally saying no and choosing herself.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not proud of her. You want to know why? You want to know why I'm not proud of her?
Why?
Because I believe that Nancy, like I said, had been looking for that moment.
Oh,
she had
retribution.
Yeah, she had been looking for a moment where she can be friends with him. She can be so cool with him. She's okay. She's fine until he is wanting her, so that way she can reject him. That's why I think that she was able to do that, because we had seen it the entire time. Actually, I was actually even more proud of Bartiste for actually calling it out and saying Nancy doesn't want to come to the terms with the fact that she still loves me and I don't love her. And she won't tell her family that. Yeah, 1000. I'm right. I'm with you 1000%, because this is weird. This is weird. This is so weird. And I just think that Nancy, this whole special she had been putting on for the cameras. So she was looking for a moment where she could have her retaliation and redemption.
To do for a whole year. To make this last a whole year so that she can get her redemption.
You don't mess with a woman's scorn.
It's crazy.
You don't mess with a woman's scorn. They will hold on to that thing.
That's crazy.
I'm telling you the truth. They will hold on to that to make sure that they're able to make themselves right. And obviously, like, why not make yourself right in the after the altar special? You know, because for him, I think he was like sick and tired. Like, though he is so, oh my goodness, he is beyond unintelligent with, like, oh, why does it have to be a benefit? Yeah, why would he ask that type of question? Why does there have to be a benefit? What do you mean, why does there have to be? Is that a real question that you're asking?
Yeah, I thought that was so.
But I don't think that he knows how to communicate what he's actually thinking and feeling. I think what he's feeling and thinking in that moment is like, okay, I'm tired of being attacked by your family because of the decision that I had made. I think he's also in the population of men don't like to be criticized for their preferences. And Nancy just so happened to not be his physical preference. And I think that's the reason why he had bowed out, not because of her personality, because I think he really does love her personality type.
And is that okay?
What?
Is that okay for him to bow out because he's not attracted to her physically?
I think that that's a big conversation.
Okay,
that's
audience.
That's a big conversation. So audience one, answer that. Here's what I will say. In some respects, yes. In some respects, no.
Mm-hmm.
If you are not attracted to somebody in any aspect, you could not be attracted to somebody emotionally. You could not be attracted to someone mentally. You could not be attracted to someone physically. Whatever the case is, if that person is not fulfilling or able to hold space in your life in some capacity, then yes, you should bow out.
Mm-hmm.
Should he have embarrassed her at the altar in front of her family? No, but we're watching a Netflix show where that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Did he go about it the correct way? No, because he acts like a complete moron, and he fed us basically the entire series with what he was going to do, which led us to believe that he intentionally embarrassed her.
Say, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So no in the way that he did it, but yes in some circumstances. If you are not happy or not fulfilled in a certain area, and you have tried and you have turned every stone, then walk away from that situation if it's not going to fulfill you, and you know that you're not going to fulfill that person because of that. Walk away from that situation. So yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody should, it depends on also like the priority that you place in terms of like what you like about a person or want in a person. And so for him, physical attraction is probably like number one on his priority list. So if he's not attracted and he doesn't see any way that that's going to like work out, then yeah. So yeah, his priorities are what they are. I'm happy that they ended at least what it looks like amicably. I will say shout out to Nancy's mom and brother for being the voices of reason for her, and especially the brother for just letting her know that, like, you don't need to be his friend or stay with him as a friend or have this. He has enough friends. You need to like prioritize your personal peace and your personal life, and that's what you need to do. Also, getting her out of this whole nice girl habit that I need to keep these people because they once loved me. And that's the purpose that they're going to serve, and she doesn't want to get rid of them. So
I don't know. I don't believe that. I think that's a facade. I don't think that she's actually keeping him because she's a nice girl or whatever the case is. I think that I think Nancy is still in love with Bartise.
I said what I said.
And she is embarrassed to admit that.
I would even argue that I don't think it's Bartise she's in love with. I think she's in love with the notion that she wanted to be married and that she wanted to be with somebody, right? And she was fully like invested in this, and she was not gonna let it. Why can't you do that? And she wasn't gonna let this go. Yeah.
You just spoke a word. I had to clap for that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, even think about the fact that like she said, no, we're not going to be friends. I think she's always known that in her heart. Like, I should not be friends with this guy. And as accomplished as she is in her, early 30s and owning all these properties that she owns and stuff like that, and the businesswoman that she is and all that stuff, she's able to, identify the positives and the negatives very quickly. I think she knew that he didn't benefit her.
Right.
I think she knew that he was not attracted to her. I think she knew all of those things, but she still wanted it anyway because I think she wanted to be married. She wants to be married, but the thing is, you can't force somebody to want you, right? So hold up.
Go ahead, you dropping these gems. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can't. You can't want somebody. You can't force somebody to want you. And also, just because they don't like you, it's not an affront to who you are.
Yeah.
It is just that that in their eyes, you are not the apple of their eye, right? That means that you're the apple of the eye to someone or multiple other people out there. It is not an affront to you. So she should never take it personally. So I think there's some people who are hanging on, not because of the person that they want to hang on to, but it's because they are married to this process and they want this thing. And it brings this conversation about why is it that people desire marriage so much? I want people to think, why do you want marriage? Right?
And a question that I have as well. I have an answer, But a question that I have is, can you be friends with your exes?
A good question. I think so. You can.
I think so at a certain point in time, in a certain season in your life.
In your life, yes.
In this instance, absolutely not. They need to not talk give it 5 years. Don't talk to each other. Don't send this. Yeah. They cannot talk. Go find yourselves, grow up a little bit, come back again when you guys are grown. Yeah. And then you can be friends. But until then, no. So anyways, so please do answer some of those questions in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. And also, like, if we get enough responses, we'd also love to have some people on to like share some of their thoughts. And we can talk and have a discussion on that, because we are reality check. Reality also involves our society and the world and the way that we navigate the world. So it's not just reality shows. So we would love to hear people's opinions on what you watched for After the Altar, and exactly how it impacts your world and what you think about the way in which some of these relationships have played out and where they are now. So yeah, please let us know in the comments. And we thank you again so much for watching. Stay tuned. We definitely have more episodes coming on more reality shows that are out there. So stay tuned, and please suggest to us anything also that you would love to hear about and like us to talk about.
Thank you for joining, everyone.
Thank you so much. We love you all.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a good one.